Hi there, my name is Caitlin Bandy and this is my channel Bandy's Books, and as you can see, Luna's here visiting. And today we are doing a tag for Tag Tuesday, but it is going to be a special tag. This is going to be my first time creating an original tag. I'm really excited about it. I have participated in so many tag videos and I don't know why I didn't create one before, but here I am now. So we're going to go ahead and jump into this. This is going to be called the Yes Chef tag. So to up the ante just a little bit, we're gonna add a giveaway to this book tag. All you have to do to enter the giveaway is to create a video and make sure I'm tagged in it so that I see it. I'm gonna be creating a playlist of all of these videos anyways. I'm gonna pick one person, and that one person is gonna receive $30 worth of books off of their wish list. It could be through Amazon, Book Depository, it can be a $30 gift card to your local bookstore. I'm happy with any of those options. This is open internationally. The deadline for the submissions are going to be February 20th. That way I have a whole entire week to watch all the videos, look at all the answers, enjoy it, and not be rushing through it. So if you want to participate, make sure that you submitted your video for your tag by February 20th. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, let's go ahead and jump right into our tag questions. Question number 1, have you ever read a book about or written by a chef? If so, which one, and did you enjoy it? It's probably going to come as no surprise to you if you follow this channel that I've read lots of books by chefs and about chefs. I myself have been a chef working in the kitchens for almost 20 years now, and so I tend to consume a lot of books about the culinary world. Some of my immediate favorites are My Life in France by Julia Child, The Nasty Bits by Anthony Bourdain. I also love Kitchen Confidential, which I've lent out at the moment. And then I recently read In the Weeds by Tom Vitale. He was a producer on Anthony Bourdain's show, and this book is fantastic. It's a much more even perspective on who Bourdain was, not such a glamorized version of him. Excellent books, all three of these, if you're interested in any of them. Question 2 is, do you notice food descriptions in books? Why or why not? So of course I notice food descriptions in books. I really love when authors use food to anchor the setting. It's great to hear about how the buildings look and what the temperature is like and what the vibe of the environment is and all that kind of stuff. But for me, if I really want to feel immersed in a book, I want to know about the food that the characters are eating, the things that they're smelling, hearing the sizzling of stuff cooking on street carts, all that kind of stuff really helps to build a complete picture. I think if you just get the weather and the basic description of the buildings and the trees, I think it feels like it's kind of a hollow description. So for me, building in that food and the food scenery and everything, that really helps to develop it more. Question 3 is, what book have you read that has the best food descriptions? So there's quite a few books that I've read that have amazing food descriptions. A series that I think anchors a lot on food is the Hunger Games series. I love the way that food is used to signify what Katniss is missing, what she wants, the difference in status between where she comes from and where she goes to. So that's really excellent. Another book that has excellent food description is Crying in H Mart by Michelle Zauner. This is a memoir that she wrote about her mother's death from cancer, and she talks a lot about Korean food in here, and it's just amazing. It really brings you into her life, and it made me so hungry, honestly. By the time I was done reading this, I just wanted to go out for Korean food. There's just page after page of beautiful food description. Question number 4 is, have you ever been inspired by a book other than a cookbook to prepare a specific food or meal? I have definitely been inspired to prepare meals by books. I have, in fact, an entire playlist of videos that revolves around food that I've cooked that was inspired by fictional books in particular. Some books off the top of my head: The Sentence by Louise Erdrich, The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune, The Hunger Games, Yerba Buena has some good food description, Where the Crawdad Sings has food description. All of these books mention little dishes here and there, and for me as a chef, I get really excited to take those and create recipes based off of a little minuscule description. If you're interested in checking out any of my food and book videos, you can see the link up here for the playlist. There's lots of them. Question 5 is, do you have a favorite cookbook? I have several. My favorite baking cookbook is this cookbook, Chocolate, by Christine McFadden and Christine France. This has so many amazing recipes, and a lot of them are really easy. As a savory food cook and not really a baker, I love this because it's just super simple and everything comes out really good. There's all sorts of really beautiful things in here. It looks really fancy, but definitely isn't super complex to make. And then I have Every Day's a Party by Emeril Lagasse. I think this was the first cookbook that I ever bought. When I was a kid, Emeril was just coming into his height of popularity, and I used to watch his cooking show every single night. and oftentimes he would inspire what I would try to cook for dinner. So I think I got this like at Christmas one year. Maybe my grandmother or my parents picked it up for me. You can see it's very worn and loved, but I've created a lot of the recipes in here. And then the two most essential cookbooks for any chef or home cook, even if you just want to be a really good home cook, in my opinion, is Mastering the Art of French Cooking 1 and 2 by Julia Child, Louisette Berthold, and Simone Beck. These books are compendiums of French cooking, and if you can master French cooking, you can master any type of cooking. Number 6 is, if you could share a meal with one author, who would it be? So there's so many authors that I would love to share a meal with, honestly. I think that Silvia Moreno Garcia would be really interesting. I think Mbolo Mbue would be really interesting. I think if we were gonna go like old school, sitting down with like J.R.R. Tolkien would be really interesting. George R.R. Martin seems like a really interesting fellow. I mean, the list is just endless. I think maybe in my case, I would actually probably sit down with Julia Child though. I guess technically she's an author because she's written several books about her life. She's written several cookbooks, and she's kind of like my icon in terms of the culinary world. So I would love to sit and chat with her and learn all about her experiences, both in writing and cooking, and becoming one of the world's most renowned chefs. And the last question, if you knew you were gonna die in 24 hours, you could eat one last meal and read one last book, what would your meal and your book be? So I think my meal is gonna be the easy one. I would probably eat pozole rojo with corn tortillas. For me, that's like a huge comfort food. It's like one of those things that I cook when I'm tired and I just wanna have something to eat for a couple days. I love it, like this big bowl of spicy red soup with pork and all the fresh vegetables on top. It's so bright and flavorful, and then, you know, handmade corn tortillas to go with it. It just takes it up a notch. I think the book part of this question is infinitely more difficult because there's so many good books out there. And I feel like, I guess if I was gonna die, I would probably want to read something that was comforting. So maybe I would go with like The Hobbit or the first book in the Lord of the Rings series, something that I read when I was younger that I've revisited as kind of a nostalgia sort of a thing. I think that's probably the direction that I would go. Although if there was something on my bookshelf that I was convinced was gonna be like a 5-star read and I didn't feel like I was satisfied dying without reading it, I guess that might be it too. So the last thing is to tag some people. I'm gonna tag a handful of people here. All of them are excellent channels. You should look in my description, look at each of them, and make sure that you are following each of them, because if not, you should be. We're gonna tag Books and Cooks, Another Bibliophile Reads, Steve Donahue. We're also gonna tag Criminali, Reading This Life, Bookish, Gina Stan Your Books, Middle of the Book March, Kedavan Reads, and Enter the Book. I hope all of you lovely people will consider doing this tag, and I look forward to seeing your videos. And if you weren't tagged in this, but you wanna participate, please do. Everyone that does, like I said, will be entered into this giveaway. There is no limitations on being entered as long as you create the video. So thank you so much for joining for this video. Hit the thumbs up button if you liked it. Comment down below and let me know what 2 books would you get off of your wish list. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you never miss a video. I do post a lot of regular content, and I'd love to see you again in the future. Bye.